Hey, welcome back to the Lick of the Week videos. This is a series I'm calling Revisiting the Classics, where we're going back and look at some of these great old tunes that banjo players like to play in bluegrass style. And for this video I've chosen Salt Creek, which is a very common jam tune. Just about everybody's covered this tune professionally. It's just a great old fiddle tune. And it's almost always played in the key of A with a capo, so I'm going to capo up. And in this video we're going to look at the A part, the first section of Salt Creek. And I'll give you a close-up of the fingerboard and we'll just get started here. And I'm going to play what I always refer to on these videos as a generic version. I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just calling that a typical, atypical, maybe is a better word, an atypical version you might hear in jam sessions. It may be something close to what you're already playing, or something close to what you heard other players play in stroke style. And what we're going to do is look at it measure by measure, line by line of the melody, and compare the standard version to some ideas that I'll throw at you to bounce around to see what you can do with. And hopefully these ideas will expand your ability to improvise over the tune, or give you a new approach to how to play melody other than just pure stroke style. So I'll play that standard version here, capoed at A. So there's our standard version. Now let's break it down measure by measure. First we need to identify the chord structure of the song, and I'm sure you're familiar with this tune, but just for the purposes of the video I'm going to break it down. We have 3 beats of A, and then this C position, which we know is actually D major. We have 1 beat of D, and then we switch to a G major chord, play 3 beats there. Then we have an E chord. So the basic beat structure of Salt Creek is 3 and 1, 3 and 1. And then that will get us to this point in the song. Now we have the latter portion of the A part, which is the same thing again. We'll have the 3 A's and the 1 D. But then, as most of these songs you'll find already have built in, which is a turnaround section, Salt Creek is no different. Salt Creek has a turnaround at the end. And remember, a turnaround is just a kind of a musical concept where you compress chord changes into, a nice tidy little package. The end of Salt Creek has 2 A's, 1 E, and then back to A for 1. So 2 and 1, 2, 1 and 1 equals 4. 4 beats equals a measure. So your last measure is compressed into a turnaround. And all of that will get repeated. So that was one time through the A part. Now let's break those sections down. The introduction to the song typically may be something like this, which is slide on the 4th and then pinch 1 and 5, 3, 1 and 5. What's something we can substitute there? I'm going to substitute a different kind of kickoff. What I'm going to do is play the open 3rd and the open 4th as 16th notes, and then walk up the 4th string from 4 to 6. Now when I get here, instead of doing another pinch, I'm going to go into a roll. And the roll is going to be slide from 6 to 7 on the 4th, which gets me to my A note, root note of the chord, and I'm going to roll 4, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5. And again, this is replacing the generic kickoff. So all of that is being replaced with for this, which is leading us up to the D chord, what can we do besides the Scruggs roll? 3, 2, 1, 5, and then into the C position, which is D major. What can we do besides this? Well, there's a lot of things we can do. I'm going to give you a single string lick. And now when you hit this note, this is a D note, that's in your D chord, that will actually get you on that one beat of D. So the only part of this is actually the transition, just as the Scruggs version, where you'll roll 3, 2, 1, 5, pinch. When you pinch, you're including this note, which is the melody note for that position. The single string version of that would be 3 fretted at 4, open, fretted at 4, open second. So those 1, 2, 3, 4, those 4 notes are replacing these 4 notes. 3, 2, 1, 5. Now when you reach this note, you can still pinch, or you can just play the individual note. Let me put all that together. Or, now we're to this measure, which is 3 beats of G and 1 beat of E rhythmically. Most of the time you'll see players do this, like in the standard version. They will actually just play the 4th string open, because that's the only note relating to the E chord that's actually a melody note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you only have 1 beat of E anyway. So that's a quarter note. 1 and. What's another way we can play through that F, get the melody, that F position I should say, get through this G major chord out of this F position and wind up on that D note, other than, you know, this? Well, the possibilities are just about endless, but I'm going to give you another single string lick to play. Since you use a single string lick to get to the D, let's use a single string lick to actually play the melody and get down to that open 4th string, which in this case is an E note. Now what am I doing there? I'm going to give you even more of a close-up here. I'm going to go 3rd string, stay in the camera here, 3rd string, and I'm doing it out of the chord shape, but to remove my fingers so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going 3rd string, 4th fret, open, 4th string, 5th fret, open 3rd, then repeat those notes, and then at the end of the passage you're going to walk your way down to the open 4th string. So it's 3, open, 4, open 3, 3 closed, open 4, open 3, closed, open 4, 4, 4. And if you like to add something to it, I think maybe sonically speaking, the advantage of doing this, where you have a square roll going 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, or in this case 3, 2, 4, 1, is you have a lot of surrounding notes. You have your own built-in filler, but what you're trying to get out of all that is the melody. So we can approximate the melody by just playing the notes. But it's kind of stale if you just play the melody, so I'm putting a few grace notes in there to fill it up the gap around it, so that it's not just that. So we have a few notes that are probably not exactly melody, like back to the G, the open 3rd, and it gives you a little more of that fiddle feel, la da 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 da, bow strokes. So if I put that together with the F shape, I could maybe grab the 1st string with my middle finger at times. You know, if I wanted some grace notes out of the chord. pinch some other notes, but I'll leave that up to you. But the main thing is just a different way to express the melody other than this. Right? So let's go back to the top here. Standard version. And here's our new version. Chord tones, you can. Now we return to another 3-in-1 section, 3 A's, 1 D. So instead of using the kickoff again, which wouldn't exactly work too well here, this would be a good place to actually use the standard version. To return to the D. So, you know, or you could substitute one for the other. You could start off with a standard version and then mix in the single string and then maybe roll into it. Maybe go 4, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5. So the point of the video again is for you to try these new ideas, and you can mix them up in all kinds of ways to come up with, you know, just dozens of variations of the song by switching parts, the standard way versus the new way, half of the new way, half of the old way, a third of the new way, a third of the old way. Just mix these parts up that you're learning so that you can represent the melody however you want to or improvise over the melody. Now we're at the conclusion of this part of the A part where the turnaround comes in. And again, for the turnaround sake, most players, that was what we called the generic or the standard version, and that covers 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 1. So a lot of times when you're playing over a turnaround section, you just play tag licks that last the same amount of time. In this case, all that lasts about 4 beats, so it covers the turnaround chord changes. What can we do other than this? You know, all those scrugs out of it. Well, we can do anything. Since this is a tag section and there's a turnaround with the chords, we can insert basically anything we want. So I'm going to give you a new lick to play over that turnaround section. And what you're going to do is hold the first string at 7 with your pinky. Also put your index finger at 5 on the first string, so you've got 2 notes on the same string. So this note is canceling out this note actually. And take your ring finger and put it right here at the second string at 7. And what you're going to do is slowly dissolve these fretting fingers when you don't need them. The roll pattern is going to be 1, 5, which are both the same notes. Then remove the pinky and play 1, 2. So it's 1, 5, 1, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2. Now you're going to dissolve this note 1. 1, 5, 1, 2, 1. And now the second string can be a grace note if you like. You can play the second string open or just leave a small hole there and go into this 3-2-1 roll with a slide from 4 to 5. 3, 2, 1, 3. And then you're going to go to the 4th string at 5. And probably end with a pinch. So that's actually just a nice little bit of melodic feel there, melodic tag lick that covers. The one difference is we're going to the 5th fret of the 3rd string in the slide, and then when you come to this note, it's a G note. A G note played against an A chord gives you an A7 sound, which is kind of a dominant, kind of a bluesy sound. So we put just a little bit of blues in there at the end. put all this together and we'll have our new version of Salt Creek. So if this is the repeat section, I probably wouldn't pinch there. I'd leave a hole. And now on the repeat, I'm not going to do the standard. Again, I'm just going to roll into it. I added the first string open as kind of a grace note. And then that time I used the single string lick to get me to D. And then to end it, I'll use the standard lick to end it. So you see how I'm mixing the new ideas and the old standard ideas together. So you don't have to totally, at first you don't have to think, well, I've got to totally throw out my standard version out the window and adopt this new version. You can mix and match because it's like cut and paste on the computer. You just match up the section of the melody you're playing with the chord changes that you're playing them over, and then you can drop in the new parts, leave old parts where you like, and it's almost endless what you can do with it. So there's the A part of Salt Creek, and I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you on the B part of Salt Creek.